Hello, guys. Just wait for everyone to get on. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Club. Now, if you've been part of this club before, you probably won't recognize me, this weird English guy coming on, but my name's John Farnworth, and I'm quite well known for doing tricks and skills with a football, also known as football freestyle. So over the next 2 weeks, Monday to Friday, starting today, I'm going to be sharing some of my experiences training with a football, but also doing like some workouts and teaching you some of my freestyle skills. So just to get you in the mood for freestyle at 7:30 on a Monday morning, that's proper dedication, by the way. I'm going to show you a quick glimpse of some of my skills, and then we're going to get into the session. So make sure you've got a football at hand. You don't need a ball. You can always watch and maybe try the skills later on in the day, but it would be cool if you can actually take part in the session as it goes ahead. So let me show you some skills to get started. So that's what we're going to learn today. I'm only kidding, but we are going to do a workout. And guys, because it's a live stream, you can put your comments in the comment section if you want to ask any questions or if you're struggling with any of the skills. But we're going to get our body moving. So if you've got your ball, you're going to get it out. We're just going to do a bit of tapping on the ball using the sides of our feet and the soles of our feet. And then today, we're actually going to focus on different ways of flicking the ball into the air. So flick up tricks to maybe go into keepy ups, or even just to flick the ball and get it up into the air to make a pass in a game of football. So firstly, guys, with your ball, sole of your feet, such an important part of freestyle and football, just to move the ball. We're just going to start moving on top of the ball, and then maybe start to, if you can, just a little jog on top of the ball. Use your arms to move as well. Just try and be as light on your toes as you can. I always try and move forwards. If you've got the space at home, make the most of it. You can go backwards as well if you fancy a challenge. But just get yourself moving. Get yourself ready for the day. Also, guys, you can keep your head up as well. So if you keep your head up, it's a little bit harder, but you can also get to a point where you're looking across and you can see what's ahead of you, but you can also see the ball as well, and then you can move around. Okay, guys, we're going to go insides to insides now. So remember, we're still warming up, so take your time. Just go at your own level. Just try and get as many touches on the ball as you can. So like I say, inside to inside, and then slowly get up on our toes. And then move that ball around. And like with the soles, you can move backwards and forwards. Just enjoy playing with the ball. Head up if you can. Move to the side if you can. Move forwards and backwards if you can. Remember, the more touches on the ball you can get, the better. All right, guys, so we're going to take that skill now, and you probably know who Cristiano Ronaldo is, very famous footballer. He does a move a lot called the Ronaldo chop, where he chops behind the leg like that. But what we're going to do is the chop skill from the insides. So as we're going to move the ball, every now and again, I want you to try and chop behind. You can go super slow if you want to. Chop behind, get your touches in. chop behind. But if you fancy a challenge, you can get up on your toes. Maybe do about 5 or 6 touches, then do your chop. And if you can, alternate your feet. So you would chop on the left, do a few touches in between, chop on the right, a few touches in between. You don't have to do this skill, but it's just a nice little option. Remember, keep your head up if you can. You can always start to move around the space as well, just to make it a little bit harder. Right. All right, guys, hold it there. Good work. So now we're going to put those two things together dead quick. We're going to go sole to sole, but with the actual sides. Sorry, side to side with the sole. I stand corrected. So side to side, but with the sole nice and slow. Remember, underneath your foot, the sole, but with the moving the ball from side to side like this. And the wider you can take that, the better, because this is going to transition into some quite cool skills over the next few days. So once you're happy with this, nice movement, you're going to slowly get up on your toes and add a little bit of speed in there. You can go super fast if you want to, or you can just keep it at walking speed. It's still early in the morning, you know, you can just use this to get yourself ready for the day, get your touches in. It's a pretty healthy start to the day, this, isn't it? Doing some skills with the ball, moving around. Maybe as well, guys, start to move forward and backwards. Keep your head up if you can. Okay guys, I'm going to show you another ground skill now as part of our warm-up. So this one was made famous by another Ronaldo. His name was Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima. Just about remembered that. He was a Brazilian Ronaldo. Played around, let's say, 15 to 20 years ago. And he would quite often do this skill where he'd run, drag the ball and step with the opposite foot. And it quite quickly became known as the Ronaldo step over. So you might have seen it because Cristiano Ronaldo does it, Neymar does it all the time. There was a famous player called JJ Okocha that used to do this all the time for a team down in England called Bolton. And what you do is, taking that roll move, as you drag the ball across, you're going to step with the opposite foot to protect that ball. So just start super slow. If you can do it, go super fast if you want to and if you've got the space. But drag the ball like this and then protect with the opposite foot. Let me show you from this angle. So as you drag across, you are going to step with the opposite foot. So similar to the chop where we go behind, but this time it's a drag, it's a roll under the foot. So roll, step, and then once you've completed it, guys, just bring it back and then do it again. Remember, repetition is very important to master these skills. So we'll do it here, and then we'll bring it back. And then you can start to maybe get a little bit of speed on the move. So you're going to drag, and then bring it back. Remember, keep on your toes if you can do. Do the skill, bring it back. Keep on your toes, do the skill, bring it back. Keep on your toes, do the skill. And just keep that ball moving, even if it's slow to begin with. So drag, step, back, and round. If anyone wants a little variation, if you've mastered it, you can do a Rabona version. And the way this one works is, as you drag, you push the ball through and back again. So you've done the first bit, but what you do here is push it through with your strong foot, the foot that starts the move. So drag across here and then back again. Drag across here and then stop. So remember guys, you don't need to do the advanced one. It's just for any of you out there that want to try that. last few seconds on this. Awesome work, guys. So hopefully you're a little bit warmed up now. Hopefully you're enjoying the session. So what we're going to do now is go to the flick up tricks that I was talking about. So when I did a bit of freestyle at the start, the ball was in the air pretty much the whole time. I think I messed up at the end, but you know, maybe you'll let me off for that one. But the way to get the ball in the air is there's so many ways to do it. It's really interesting because the ball will always start on the floor. So no matter what level you're at, you can always try these skills. And I'd say the first couple of skills that you want to learn is just like a simple roll and flick and catch. And then as the sessions go on, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to improve like your kick-ups with your laces and other parts of the body, which can be challenging, but it's worth learning because when you've got an all-round base of control with the ball, things become a lot easier and you can learn other skills on top of that. So like I say, roll and scoop, we're going to start with some really simple ones. So the first one, guys, using that sole again that we're used to using, all you're going to do is roll and then try and scoop it into your hands like that. You might already be able to do that one. In that case, I want you to try the switch scoop. So the switch scoop looks like this. You're going to have the ball under one foot, and as you bring it back, you're going to flick it to your second foot. Now, it's better to do it really fast because you get a bit more power doing it that way. But while we're learning, you can do it really, really slow by just going like that, flick, and then you might need to crouch down to get it, but just try and get your feet in the right position. So that first one, like I say, you might have already seen this one, but all it is a roll back, and then you're going to try and go into your kick-ups. You don't need to do two to begin with. You can just do one, but then we'll build up to it as we go on. So ball under your foot, scoop up, and then try and get that ball into your hands. Try not to move off to the side too much. So all about accuracy of the roll and flick under in the middle up into the air. So the ball is here. We're going to roll, flick, and catch. I'll do that second one for you as well. So we're here, and then underneath, like that. So 1 foot. But like I say, what we want to get to is this kind of scooping motion, all in one go, which can be tricky, so be patient. Just like that. So ball in front of you, and then flick. Ball in front of you, and then flick. And if you want to do some kick-ups, as we're doing our flick-up skills this morning, what I would advise is keep the ball really low, and that can be really tricky when you're first learning. What I mean by keeping it low is try and avoid kicking it out to the side, and try and avoid kicking it like too high as well. So you want to keep the ball below your waist height, which can be strange if you're not used to it, but that can only come with practice. So a good way of practicing your kick-ups is, well, the way I learned it, to be honest, was to kick, bounce, and see how many kick bounces I could do. So rather than doing it straight out left to right, I would just let the ball bounce. So that can be quite challenging actually, because you want to make sure that the ball goes straight in front of you all the time. So just take your time with it, guys. Use your laces, be on your toes if you can do, be nice and light on your feet. So once that ball's up, maybe challenge yourself to see how many kick-ups you can do. Remember, keep it nice and low. Just be aware of the ball each time. What I'm also going to do now is throw in 2 more skills because I want to challenge you this morning. First session, so I've got to do my best to challenge you. So this next one I call the rocket launcher, and what you're going to do is grab the ball and jump up and catch it. But it's going to be grabbed between your ankles. So you might have seen this one actually. Nice and tight between your ankles, and all you're going to do is jump up and catch like that. It's a really cool way to get the ball in the air. And obviously, once you've done it to your hands, maybe just do one kick up. That's all I want you to do. So up, one kick up, and then catch. So a good tip is to really bend your knees, use your arms. It's almost like you're doing a high jump, so you're going to use all your power. And then get that ball into the air. And then number 2, this is more like the very famous rainbow flick. And what you're going to do with this one is jump slightly to the side. So rather than jumping straight, you are going to take the ball to one side. So I jump to my right because I'm generally right-footed. So if you're right-footed, maybe do the same. If you're left-footed, just do it the other way. So without a ball, actually all it is a jump to the side. And I think pretty much everyone can do that. And then when you put the ball in, all you've got to do is remember to let go when the ball comes to the side. So you're going to jump up, let go, and then try and catch it. And obviously, you know the rule now, you just got to add a touch on there if you can. So maybe do a few straight to the hand, get used to it. And then adding a touch will just make it a tiny bit harder each time. So it's up and there. Remember, you can do your kick bounces. Always go to that when you're learning your kick ups. Let the ball bounce. So we've got 4 skills there that you can work on. And I always think with freestyle, you can always master, I don't know, I'd maybe pick 2 or 3 at a time to like focus on rather than do like loads and loads. That's why I'm going to give you little bits each day to work on. So remember, the roll flick was our first one. That's like a fundamental flick up. Then we've got our switch scoot, which I think is quite a bit harder actually, because you're just getting the coordination to get that ball in the air. Then number 3 was our straight up jump. I just call it a rocket launcher because it's like you've got to jump up with all your power. Get that ball in the air. And then the 4th one was the jump to the side, where you go up, to the side, like that. So guys, be patient with your training. I just wanted to mention as well on this session, with it being the first one, is like when I was younger, I didn't start freestyle till I was about 16, and I wasn't really that good, to be honest. But I practiced every day, and that's what helped me get better and better and better. So whether you want to do freestyle just to like improve your football, or whether you want to do it a bit more seriously, it's such an amazing thing to do every day because it improves your control and your fitness, but it gives you discipline as well. And I think discipline's really important in anything, whether it's in school, if you're like trying to better yourself and get a good exam score or do an assignment better than last year, then you've got to practice a bit more and discipline yourself a little bit more. So always remember that. Try not to give up when you're learning, because that will be a skill, like a character skill. You know, it's not a skill like a football skill, but it's something that you can take into other areas of your life. So yeah, keep on training that. Before I go, I'm going to leave you with one like harder skill. So those ones were basic, right? This is the first session, getting into it, showing you some stuff. But this one takes a bit of thought. So I'm going to show it you. I'm going to break it down, and then maybe a bit of homework. If you've got the time between today and tomorrow, you can give it a try. So it's another flick up skill. That was really the theme of today, but it does take a bit of practice. So this is what it looks like. Watch. So the ball, obviously, we start on the floor and the ball comes up like this. So I call it the slam down because you're using the ground to slam it down. So toe goes behind the ball, and then the foot that you kick with starts above like this, and then you're switching them over. So without the ball, you can do it so easy. All you're going to do is that, right? So with a lot of my more difficult, challenging skills, I actually do them without a ball first because that just helps my mind get used to the movement. So the ball will be in front of one toe, The other foot just kind of hovers above, and then you're going to switch them down. So what's happening here is like as one toe comes up, the other one comes down. So I'm going to show you it again, and then I'll keep breaking it down to help you. So one toe here, foot above, and then you're going to slam it down like that. So you probably need to lean back ever so slightly, but don't just rush into it. Take your time. So if I break it down into 3 steps here, step 1 would just be to simply put your toe behind the ball. Step 2 would just be to put your sole of your foot above it. So you'll need to hover above it, testing your balance a little bit. And then step 3 is jumping up and hitting down in one motion. This is the tricky bit. So you switch your feet over, and then the move works like that. I'll show you it from this angle. So foot here. Remember, your foot needs to be directly above, like directly where the middle of the ball is. If it goes to the side or behind or in forward, you'll end up things like that happening. It'll move away. You'll end up like missing it, and the ball will go everywhere. So try and avoid that by just thinking about the position. So if you've got a ball, you can try it, but maybe something to work on this week if you've got time. So foot behind, foot above, and then all you're going to do is switch them over like that. And then of course, once you've done it, what we want to do is go into our kick-ups. So you can start by going into a kick and a catch, left to right and a catch. Remember, use your bounce. So guys, if you've got time, give that a try. That was a more advanced skill, so don't worry if you can't do it straight away. Like I said, I couldn't do anything when I first started. The first trick I learned when I was younger was to flick the ball on the back of my neck. I'll show it you now, and I am going to show you this skill throughout the sessions, but it took me so long. So I would balance the ball on my foot like this, and then flick it on my neck. And trust me, that took me like so long to learn, and I almost like gave up. But honestly, when you get the skills and you like, it gives you confidence, then you can go on to do like other ones as well. So be patient and enjoy your training. So guys, that is the session. I hope I've not rambled on too much. Remember, work on them skills. Then warm-up skills are really key for your control and your balance and your coordination, and they'll help you in a match. But the freestyle skills, yeah, they're a bit more fun, but they'll definitely give you like discipline. So flick up tricks today. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit different, but I might go over some of the skills just to see how you're getting on. And remember guys, because it's a live feed, I can see any comments here. So if anyone's like really struggling, or if anyone has got like a skill that they desperately want to learn, or desperately want some tips on, or just generally have a question, don't be afraid to like put it in the comments box, because it's really good to like interact with you. Because I'm really looking forward to these next 2 weeks on the live stream. So guys, have a fantastic Monday. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, 7:30. On this YouTube channel, and make sure you subscribe as well. It's a new channel, so let's get the subscription up before tomorrow. Guys, see you tomorrow, and well done.